First of all, the idea of these yugas does not come from the scriptures of authority. They come from, say, the Vishnu Puran. So they come from the Puranic or Bhagavad Puran. So they talk about yugas in the Puranic stories, Puranic kind of narrative. Fair enough. Purans have their importance and value, but never treat them as literal truth, otherwise you get into serious trouble. Because the yugas they are talking about, some of them last for 1.5 million, some for 700,000 years. Now, if you had so many big yugas, then it doesn't agree with common sense. I told you, always keep your feet firmly planted on the ground to make sense of the world that you live in. Why doesn't it make sense? Because we know modern thinking very clear. Homo sapiens, means thinking human beings, became visible on earth about 60, 70, 80,000 years ago, not any earlier. And this was again a very rudimentary, tiny little, lady called Lucy, come out of Africa. So human beings started, the human race, I would say, the Homo sapiens, thinking humans, only appeared on earth about 60, 70, 80,000 years back, but no more. Maybe you find another skeleton which is 90,000, so be it. But this idea of millions of years of yugas doesn't fit in with this kind of idea that we are finding from archaeological evidence. As I said, always keep your rational faculties on. And I've been warning that Puranic stories or Puranic material always should not be treated as literal truth. The only thing I can say is this, and again this is very visible. The world that we live has become very jittery. Haven't you noticed? The pace of activity is now very frenzied. Everything has to happen very quickly. Haven't you noticed? You are all in a rush, and this particular pace of activity is growing faster and faster. The tempo is getting faster and faster.
Becoming more frenetic.
Frantic. And the thing is, you can see, it is creating real hassle. Look, if we explore our own lives, whether in India or the Western world, we explore our own lives, we soon realize that we don't seem to be in charge of anything. We seem to be kind of being pushed around and rattled from pillar to post. So we don't seem to have any handle on our own lives. They're in a mess, very jittery, very we get worked up. And that is why this is true. They have recognized that the biggest problem in the modern world is mental health. Because this is what cracks up your mind, your mental health cracks up when you're under so much stress and pressure and you are trying to perform so many things and achieve so many targets and so on. So if at all you wanted to define the Kali Yuga, this is all I'll say. We used to live in a perhaps more sober, sensible pace of life a long time ago, and that sensible pace of life has been replaced with a very frenzied lifestyle. So what we are doing is this. In modern day, we are equating a frenzied life. I must go on 3 holidays and eat this and drink this new flavor and this I miss and my children must go to this. So we live in a very frenzied lifestyle, and this you can equate, according to me, as defining Kali Yuga, where we equate the frenzied lifestyle as fun. And we can embrace it, and we get burnt, but we still can embrace it. That's a nice example. If you go into the desert, you'll see a camel. Now the camel, there's no vegetation there except very thorny leaves, long thorns. I've seen them. Now these camels, the only way they can survive is to keep eating those thorny leaves, otherwise they can't survive. So they keep eating these thorny leaves, and while they're eating the thorny leaves, those little thorns kind of pierce their lips and the blood comes out. And they actually then start developing a taste for the blood and the shoots they are eating with the thorns. They develop a taste for it and keep chewing. This is the state of humanity today. We've embraced a very thorny lifestyle. It is burning us up, but we still think there's nothing else to do. Just as the camel, there's nothing else to eat. So this is the only thing we know. So we kind of hang on to it and keep chewing and killing ourselves in the process. So this is, if you like, the reality, and this is the only way I would define Kali Yuga. I mean, if anybody else says, no, 700,000 years ago this and million years ago was this Yuga, I say, my friend, it doesn't agree with my common sense. So if I will not accept anything, even if it's dished out in the name of religion or in the Purans, I will not agree with it if it offends my common sense. I would advise the viewers to do the same.
Free e-learning course in Hinduism. To register, please visit www.hindu-academy.com.
Talks on Hinduism. Sponsored by People Care. Encouraging caring for the elderly in their own homes. For more information, please visit peoplecare.com.